Chapter 32 of Lud-In-The-Mist. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Read by Nicole J. LaBeouf. Lud-In-The-Mist by Hope Mirrlees. Conclusion. I should like to conclude with a few words as to the fate of the various people who have appeared in these pages. Hazel Gibberty married Sebastian Thug, and an excellent husband he made her. He gave up the sea and settled on his wife's farm. Mistress Ivy Peppercorn came and lived with them, and every summer they had a visit from Master Nathaniel and Ranulph. Bawdy Bess left Lud at the time of Sebastian's marriage. Out of pique, said the malicious. Luke Hempen entered the Lud Yeomanry, where he did so well that when Mumchance retired, he was elected captain in his place. Hempy lived to a ripe old age, long enough to tell her stories to Ranulph's children. Nor had she any scruples about telling them her views on neighborliness. And when she died, as a tribute to her long and loving service, she was buried in the family chapel of the Chanticleers. Mother Tibbs, after taking a conspicuous part in the wild revels which followed on the arrival of the Faerie army, vanished forever from Dormare. Nor did anyone ever again see Portunus. But from time to time, a wild, red-haired youth would arrive uninvited, and, having turned everything topsy-turvy with his pranks, would rush from the house shouting, "Ho, ho, ho!" By degrees the crab-apple blossoms recovered their spirits. But they certainly did not grow up into the sort of young ladies their mothers had imagined they would, when they first sent them to Miss Primrose Crabapple's academy. They were never stinted of fairy fruit, for the dapple continued to bring its tribute to Dormare, adding thereby considerably to the wealth of the country. For, thanks to the sound, practical sense of Master Ambrose, a new industry was started, that of candying fairy fruit, and exporting it to all the countries with which they trafficked, in pretty fancy boxes, the painted lids of which showed that art was creeping back to Dormare. As for Ranulph, when he grew up, he wrote the loveliest songs that had been heard since the days of Duke Aubrey, songs that crossed the sea and were sung by lonely fishermen in the far north, and by indigo mothers crooning to their babies by the doors of their huts in the Cinnamon Isles. Dame Marigold continued to smile, and to nibble marzipan with her cronies, but she used sometimes sadly to wonder whether Master Nathaniel had ever really come back from beyond the Debatable Hills. Sometimes, but not always. And Master Nathaniel himself? Whether he ever heard the note again, I cannot say. But in time he went, either to reap the fields of gillyflowers, or to moulder in the fields of gramarye. And below his coffin, in the family chapel, a brass tablet was put up with this epitaph: Nathaniel Chanticleer, President of the Guild of Merchants, 3 times Mayor of Lud-In-The-Mist, to whom was granted no small share of the peace and prosperity he helped to bestow on his town and country. An epitaph not unlike those he used to con so wistfully in his visits to the fields of gramarye. And this is but another proof that the written word is a fairy, as mocking and elusive as Willy-Wisp, speaking lying words to us in a feigned voice. So let all readers of books take warning. And with this final exhortation, this book shall close. Columbine. And can the physician make sick men well? And can the magician a fortune divine? Without lily, germander, and sops in wine, with sweet briar and bonfire, and strawberry wire, and columbine. With in and out, round as a ball, with hither and thither, as straight as a line. With lily, germander, and sops in wine, with sweet briar and bonfire, and strawberry wire, and columbine. Any lass for a duke who wears green, in lands where the sun and the moon do not shine. With lily, germander, and sops in wine, with sweet briar and bonfire, and strawberry wire, and columbine. When Aubrey did live, there lived no poor, the lord and the beggar on roots did dine. With lily, germander, and sops in wine, with sweet briar and bonfire, and strawberry wire, and columbine. There are windfalls of dreams, there's a wolf in the stars, and life is a nymph who will never be thine. With lily, germander, and sops in wine, with sweet briar and bonfire, and strawberry wire, and columbine. End of chapter 31. End of Lud-In-The-Mist by Hope Mirrlees.